Welcome everybody to the MRC Cup series. It's race number 4. We're here at Bristol. It's been like 6 months. I don't know. It's been a long time. But we're finally here. We got the cars on the track. They're probably going to bump and bang and kill each other. You know, that's just how Bristol be. We have another co-commentator. Dylan got lost in the jungles of Tennessee somewhere. I don't know how there is no jungle in Tennessee, but that's what we're hearing, at least from the officials. So we found a replacement. He didn't make this race, but he crawled up to the booth. Okay, we got Tristan that one here.
Doing the live Carl Edwards impression. I can't race, so I gotta do the commentary now.
We got a driver in the booth, just how the Cox Sports 1 would love it. So here we are today. Cody Lama starts on the pole, taking his first pole of the season, and that fits Alpha Connolly. They're leading the team points right now. And the teammate of Cody Lama's, Ryan Jasper, ended up winning the race at Daytona, so we'll see if Cody can maybe get Alpha Connolly their second win of the season. Starting next to him is the 16 of George Buffle for Roush Kiani Fenway Racing, or whatever it is. It's probably that. And he's starting second today, not too far off of Cody there, just a tenth or two. And then we got Blake Warren, whose driver Buddy Barksdale won last week, so Blake trying to cash in on that success of the team as well. Starting next to the anime fiend that is Gabriel Homo there. And Seth Cole, who won Homestead, starting not too far behind. And then we probably should mention Eric DeMax, because he ended up killing everybody at Atlanta last week. Whatever week it was, forever ago, I don't know. And he ended up getting a 46-point penalty. So he had to actually do the LCQ to make it into this race, and he made it in. Starting ninth today, let's hope he could keep it clean, because if he doesn't, then he's going to be suspended for a couple races. And Tristan, is there anything you'd like to add about Bristol here today?
Bristol's just going to be a main issue of just trying to navigate lap traffic when the time comes. Other than that, they're going to be just riding, waiting for an opportunity.
Yep, so yeah, lap traffic's going to play a very big part in this race. 200 laps, so if you're slow by even like a tenth, it's going to really add up over the course of the race, and the leader's going to have to do their best not to run into any slower cars, and the slower cars are going to have to do their best not to kill any of the leaders as they're coming by, and that's going to be the case for all 42 of the drivers here today. The drivers at D and Q, we got Dane Stinson, Cam Vanderhorst, Stephen Cullen, RJ Bishop, Corey Williams, DJ Curtis, Cal Farrell, Tristan, who's in the booth with me today, and Ryan Reed, who just can't seem to make a race for the life of him after Daytona. So, unfortunately for DeMax's team, that he's on there, Team Tom's, but he's made the race today. And for the first time in this series, we have Cam Worsard, Nick Breeding, and AJ Jones, who's actually making his full debut. Breeding and, well, Breeding also came on pretty late, and Cam Worsard started in the Daytona duels. So let's get things underway here. It's drivers, I think maybe we've gotten the command to start their engines. I see the flames popping out. And 200 laps of Bristol is incoming. It should be exciting. I have no idea what could possibly happen here.
Yeah, there's always opportunities for a bunch of insanity here. Anything that happens in front and you instantly have like a 10-car pile up just because there's no time to react.
Also interesting to note the two pit lanes, so if somehow we do get a green flag run in, both those pit lanes are going to be under use, and joining back onto the track is going to be a little chaotic. Cody Lamas to the line, 200 laps of MRC at Bristol.
Phenomenal jump on the rest of the field. Not even bothering having to go side by side with anyone yet.
No, Cody Lamas and Blake Warren, the two Chevys making their way out in front. George Buffle started on the outside there, dropping a place to Warren. Seth Cole getting a little bit of help there from Eric DeMax to get around Gabriel Homo. And the rest of the field just still 2x2 behind him, pretty much all the way back through.
Trying to get their way to the inside at any way possible, just to have more buffer from falling to the entire back of the pack.
Yeah, it's pretty much the name of the game here. It looks like you see that little bit of groove there on the bottom of the track. It's going to help them out quite a bit, get them a little bit more grip as they roll through the corners. And you see that the front, like 3 or 4 are already gone. So, I mean, that's just how much time you lose on the top compared to everyone else. And being side by side doesn't help you out at all.
Yeah, losing a lot of time on the exit for the car on the bottom because you can't slide up to the wall like what they'd want to with the car on the outside.
There's our points leader. He started on the outside, I believe, and he is losing a ton of places. That's a lot of points positions, but still a 200 lap race. So, I mean, plenty of time, but he's got a little bit of trouble ahead of him, it looks like.
Not what you want to see at first, pretty wide up ahead.
No, and that's why. Oh, but they keep it clean. Joey Murphy, I don't know if a caution came out for that. No, it looks like they stay green. Good on Murphy to save it, but a lot of front end damage on that car. Yeah, and it looks like Testicle maybe coming in the pit. Nope, they're gonna stay out there. But yeah, I mean, that's Bristol for you. We'll have to go back and maybe look at that when we have a chance. But heavy damage on that a 43 car, I'm sure. So we slowly crawl our way back up through the field. Buddy Barksdale won at Atlanta. He was one of the drivers to cash in on the misfortune of pretty much everyone in the field. Take his first win of the season. That propelled him all the way up to 17th in points. I can't remember where he was before that, but I know it was a good amount of spots ahead or below that.
Out of all the races I DNQ'd, it couldn't have been that one.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. You glad you're okay after that heavy hit there. So Llama's and Warren running away. Sorry.
With the incident on the back stretch, they're going to be a lot closer to getting lapped now because they lost a lot of time doing that and having to sell their way back.
Oh yeah, Natan Amaledo, he's currently in the last position on the track, and Llama's not too far off of him. It's the 55 is already 10 seconds back, and these lap times are, about 15 seconds or so.
Honestly helpful that we have such a bright car in the back of the pack to tell whenever they're catching up.
Yeah, it's probably a nice little thing for Llamas to chase back there. Just look for the very bright highlighter colored car. Just keep running at it. Speaking of very bright cars, Seth Cole in the Trojan Condoms machine. He's made one less start than most of the field, but he is in 12th place in the points, and that's helped with that win at Homestead. A very good strategy play, and with the position he's in right now, I could definitely see something else like that happening again here today. And I wanted to...
Now, I think I see a bright pink car at the back.
Yeah, let's take a look. Well, there is one bright pink car back there, and oh yeah, they made their way up here. Oh yeah, there they are. So just like that, they've joined the field.
Well, rejoin the field.
22 laps in, and we've got cars going a lap down. Probably earlier than that. They got Natan already. Now they're looking to get the Dick Hare car of Testicle and get around the X-Side machine of Tyler Sustry.
The damaged 82 car at that.
Yeah, taking a little bit of a beating from that earlier incident when they went 3 wide, and poor Joey Murphy got stuffed in the wall, but Murphy's kind of making his way up there. He's still pretty much at the tail end of the pack, though. And really having a tough time getting around Testicle here.
Yeah, lap 20, I've already started in lap traffic, and it's not going to end for the rest of the race. It's going to be just non-stop.
Yep, this is Bristol. There's action all over the racetrack. And yeah, the 48 stuck behind the 82, and that's probably a good strategic play to get Seth Cole into things. Teammates of that 82 car. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much exactly what's happened here. We'll see how Testicle races the 52 if they just let him go. And oh, I think Blake Warren might have poked the nose, almost put him in the same lane as his teammate, which would have been pretty disastrous.
Also, the 16 for Buffalo's up the track battling for, I think that is the 4th spot. Oh, we're gonna get around the corner.
Yep. See the 0-2 of AJ Jones making his debut today. Really good start to his campaign in the series. Up in the top 10 already, trying to figure out how to get around that crunchy roll machine of Gabriel Armo. And then our good friend Eric DeMax, who I'm sure most of the field is just loving to see just even in this race today.
I'm sure a lot of people would love to see it considering it's a short track.
Yeah, and Bristol has quite a bit of reputation for maybe a little bit of retaliation here. So we'll see how his day goes, if he even finishes all 200.
We'll see when he gets back around if anything happens between them.
Yep. Carter Friesen, another one of those drivers who entered the series a little later than others, but man, he's had a pretty tremendous run already throughout his this season. Had a, I think he's had a top 10 already, maybe 2. He's got 66 points on the season in 18th position. Just missing a race like Seth Cole did, but just hasn't figured out how to get a win yet. Single car operation. And he's got Buddy Barksdale, the Homestead, or the Atlanta winner, working his inside there, at least trying to.
Yeah, they're just all stacked up behind the very back of the pack right now. 82's kind of preventing everyone from going on the high side, so, but it's getting enough of a run off the corner to keep them pinned to the bottom.
Yeah, and Testicle fighting for their life just to stay on the lead lap or just prevent cars from lapping them for whatever reason. But I mean, it seems to be working. Poor George Buffalo's got to be frustrated.
Well, he could be the free pass if he stays in front of the 55.
That is true, yeah. So, yeah, we'll see how it works out for him. That's probably the play that they're going for.
The fight for the top 5.
And that little bit of a struggle there from the 82 has brought Seth Cole into the picture in 2nd place. So, see how that Trojan machine carries on. But man, Blake Warren's got the title sponsor of the race, and he is trying not to disappoint. Really trying to make the high side.
I like the high side entry. There's no cars on the edge. Just try something. See if he can get around the car in front. Catch him off guard.
He got beside him, and now he's gonna help the 52 maybe get around Cody Lamas here. I mean, we'll see. There's a lot of traffic ahead of him.
Yeah, nowhere for either of them to go. It's just whichever lane gets clear of each other first.
Yeah, pretty much. He's got to hope that Carlos Mendez figures out RJ Reynolds here, and it looks like he does. And now the fight is on for the lead here. And new leader, Seth Cole, first time since the start of the race, I believe. Yeah, that might have had the lap traffic might have played a part there, but 48 still holding on strong there to 3rd place. Blake Warren's had a really good car today. It's looked like starting 3rd and just immediately right off the bat taking 2nd place away. And ooh, Seth Cole washes up, and they're going to be 3 wide ahead of him. And we saw this work last time. Joey Murphy having flashbacks.
Yeah, part of it again, but it looks like he might get walled again.
Oh, and yeah, that happens again, and that's definitely going to bring out a yellow. RJ Reynolds gets turned around. Testicle, inner Ross Chastain on the outside of the wall there. And it's a race back to the line. That looks like they might have already taken it. And this is going to be a little sketchy as they rejoin the field. Seth Cole is just putting everyone a lap down that he feels like, except his teammate. He's not going to put Jacques a lap down.
Yep. And slows down his teammate.
Yeah. This is Dick Hare Racing. They're very good team players here in the MRC. So, yeah, I mean, we pretty much saw what happened, but we'll take another look at it. Poor Joey Murphy involved in the first 2 incidents of today. And looks like Seth Cole is going to bring the lead lap cars into the pits, and we'll see how they form up after we take a look at the replay and see what brought out caution number 1 at Bristol exactly a quarter of the way through the race. Alright, so we're going to take a look at the first incident that Joey Murphy was involved in, because it's very similar to the second one that he was in. Kiani just running the bottom. Joey kind of squeezed him a little bit there. Kiani washes up and gets into Austin Pebbles of Warren Racing. And man, Joey taking a hard hit there. Michael Swaney getting a little piece of it. Testicle just barely avoiding that. And that was pretty much the most of what happened to Joey there. And then we will take a look at the second incident that actually brought out the yellow here. And the second incident, this time, 2 different drivers, but you know, Joey, poor Joey. RJ Reynolds just washes up into the 38 of Allison Figueroa. And pretty much the same deal that happened the last time, only.
On each other almost.
Yeah, Joey might have came down a little bit. And this happened right in front of the leaders, too. So,
just usual lap cars trying to knock a lap down, being extremely aggressive.
Pretty much. And then, fortunately for everyone else, I don't think anyone gets an RJ Reynolds. Testicle's gonna ride the wall there for a second, just nowhere else to go for them. And, yeah, so no major damage for anyone, it looks like. And we should get back going green here in just a little bit. We'll see how they end up as they come out of pit road. So Seth Cole let him in. We'll see if he leads them back to the line and see who ended up getting that free pass. I'm not too sure who was on the who was the first car lap down, but I'm sure they'll come back around and we'll find out. Seth Cole leads him back to green, and our favorite little victim, Joey Murphy, is going to start a lap down beside him, and all the lap down cars are going to start on the bottom there, so guaranteed chaos, pretty much. Almost the same order that they had go into the pits came out, so not really too much movement up there. George Buffalo did lose a lot of spots, so I will say that much. Back going green. Yeah, we got 24 in the lead lap now, so that might change. We'll see if maybe we get more or less coming up to this next caution here. And that bottom line's going to fight for everything they have to get around and get some laps back. We'll see which line works on the brand new fresh rubber. I think the bottom side's going to have a pretty good advantage here. We see Joey Murphy escape being a lap down, and Blake Warren is going to make the first move to the bottom out of the lead lap cars, it looks like.
Now it's you try to go to the bottom and hope a lap car is fast enough than the outside leaders, or you risk staying on the high side and trying to outdrive any of the silver cars.
Yeah, it looked like the last run that low side was working pretty early, and then that kind of moved to the high side, so it might be a little bit of a gamble because you never know how long this little run of having all these lap down cars in the mix here is going to last. Looks like Seth Cole escapes him, though. Oh, yeah, we had... Oh, Shane Sides, I think. Yeah, and Victor Nunes as well. Yeah, there must have been a little incident with those two. We'll have to take a look at that. Maybe even Emi Schizato. We have a car coming into the pits, it looks like. Or maybe it was just... Oh, yeah, we do. Richard Johnson. It's unscheduled for sure. And Shane Sides. Yeah, definitely with that damage, got to come in. Unfortunate for Shane, he's currently in the standings. I believe he's 6th place, right behind Luis Hernandez, his teammate. So he's going to be dropping a lot of points here today.
Now it's only 8 points back of the lead, and with the 31 having a slow race, moves wide open.
Yeah, it's pretty good race for Luis. Currently 10th at the moment. So I mean, this could be a race that he capitalizes on for sure. And it looks like the caution is out. Must have another incident. It looks like Carter Friesen was involved in this one. So,
Cautions breed cautions.
You said it before I did. So, so Seth Cole looks to continue the lead here, and I think somebody hit the wall. It sounded like, at least. We'll take a look at these last couple incidents, and the one that brought out the caution for sure. And we'll see if Seth Cole is still in control of the race once we get this back going green. Alright, so we're going to take a look at the incident that damaged Shane Sides and Victor Nunes here. And this one kind of developed early on. Ash Curtis got into the 23. It looked like a little bit on exit there. He at least had a little bit of a run. And then going into 1, kind of rubs up on Ryan Jasper there a little bit. Ash Curtis gets a run on the inside, and they're going to be 3 wide, and we've seen how this ends before. Gotta find the right camera. And then, yeah, Ash just sends it into the corner. I think Nunez might have washed down a bit, and poor Shane Sides. Instant victim. Yeah, and Emi Schizato. So, that didn't bring out a caution. He was pretty sideways, but I think they stayed green for that. It doesn't look like on the lights, at least. Nope.
Yeah, Shane washed down enough and got pointed forward, so I didn't feel like firing a caution for it.
Yep, and then we'll take a look at what happened to Carter Friesen here. And finally, the incident that brought out the second caution of the race. Just 3 wide at Bristol. I mean, that's pretty much all you got to say. Daniel Rivera running up on Nick Breeding, making his debut here. And, yeah, poor Carter Friesen, I think, just might not have realized where they were. And just kind of moves down just a little bit. And ends up getting turned around, and for whatever reason, this was enough to bring up the yellow. Yep, he kind of just hits him again. Well, that makes a bit more sense. Turned pretty much at a dead 90-degree angle there. And yeah, that's going to bring out the second caution of the race. Cautions, precautions, as Tristan said. We'll see if the lap cars can avoid even more chaos as we get going to green here again. About 60 or so laps through this one. About to get back going here at Bristol. We did have a pit stop, and it's kind of jumbled up the starting order here. Gabriel Mo has a bit of a buffer behind him as he takes the green here. Harry Klein and Eric DeMax are starting a couple spots away from him, and Seth Cole ends up dropping to 5th place. And yeah, that could be pretty big for his race.
But also pretty big for me actually making it on fuel if that time comes.
That is true. About 131 left, coming to 130 when they hit the line again. We'll see if the No Limits machine of Gabriel Mo can take that 3-car to victory lane here today. 14th in the points. This would be a very good race for him. And he's got, like I said, a bit of a gap there to the 66 who's in 2nd. And Eric DeMax, despite, you know, attempted murder, he's still in the field. And he's here in 3rd place and nearly 3 wide behind him. Oh, we are 3 wide. Oh, and this could... 2 drivers who have wrecked. And Eric DeMax. So, oh man. Oh no. Yes. Oh my god, what are they doing? And Eric just backs out. He's like, I'm done. I'm not doing that. Smart play there.
Let the lap cars fight it out.
Yeah, you've caused enough trouble out there, Eric, so you can chill out there. Let's see, who's the next car behind Eric? That'd be Seth Cole, who's quite a couple spots down from him in terms of cars on the track. And oh man, he nearly gets cut off there from Gabriel Mendez. And it looks like Carter Friesen pulling into the pits, maybe an issue there with the car. See how that goes. It looks like Richard Johnson has got his lap back. It's one of them. I have no idea how many laps down he is at the moment. He was 1, or he was 2. Now he's at 1. And yeah, good amount of cars until they get to 2nd place there. Top 4 now separated only by 2.5 seconds here. Still, anything can happen, and especially if we get pit stops again. You just never know which team has the better crew there. We haven't really seen too many green flag stops in the series yet. And now the 66... Oh, sorry.
You also don't know if these leaders can even make it to the end or not on their current strategy.
Yeah, especially those who've stayed out. And we think Seth Cole might be good. We haven't really seen a full fuel run in qualify or in practice. Just hasn't really been a full need for it, but we know that usually the officials set it up so they have to make 1 or 2 stops, and yeah, we'll see if they end up having to come in sometime late in the run, perhaps.
Yeah, I think the leaders, well, the current leaders, banked on a caution, being able to come back in with everyone else and flip the track position around.
Well, that kind of seemed like the narrative that was starting to form there, was that we were just going to have caution after caution, but it seems like they kind of figured it out there after that last one.
More dangerous words have never been spoken.
Yeah, that is true. Well, right now, Harry Klein really starting to reel that 3-car in. See if he can lead to the end of the run or end of the race, perhaps. But, excuse me, depending on what the strategy is. And the Max is now they're kind of starting to fall back a little bit, so that clean air, 3 and the 66 are starting to take off.
Yeah, they started taking off even when the 35 passed them. It started just flying through clean air.
Okay, well,
It's weird because they were right behind Richard Johnson's 93, and he's even farther up the road than the race leaders right now.
yeah, I'm not sure if the 93 pit or not. I know he started, I think he might have been the first car on the inside, maybe first or second car, and he just shot around the leader almost instantly and just kind of took off for a minute. But he's having trouble getting through the lap down traffic himself, trying to get his spots back. I think he's... Where is he? 93, 38? So yeah, he was 2 laps down before he got that lap back. So kind of just trying to carve through the field and probably playing for another caution. So now we've once again caught up to the end of the lap down traffic here.
I think we took a few laps to cool down the tires and going back on the attack.
Yeah, that's definitely the play here, and it looks like it might work out for that 3-car. It looked like he was going to get it right around him, but man, the longer this battle goes on, oh, I thought we were going to have the 66 go around him, but he's going to be the first car to bring him into the pits. Rodriguez as well. So it looks like lap 132 for the leaders. That's when we're coming in for the rubber and the fuel, so we'll see where that 66 comes out, if the undercut's worth it or not. So we'll...
The other thing, with it being Bristol, if anything happens, you just took yourself out of contention entirely.
Yeah, that too. It looks like Ramo is going to come in as well. That would put Max in the lead at the moment. We'll see if he ends up coming in, or, you know, now it might be the time to stretch it and just pray for a yellow, but we'll see.
And then you have Seth Cole, who I think probably has a good solid 10-15 more laps to be able to go before he has to come in. But will he decide to cover off everyone else?
And just like at Homestead, we'll see who the strategy favors. Will it favor Max? Will it favor Seth Cole? These two have pretty consistently run up towards the front with each other, and it's pretty much just come down to what the crew chief calls for them. And they've both decided to stretch it out here longer than the leaders of the three, and I already forgot who the other one was for whatever reason. The Harry Klein, yeah. And Max has got a Toyota buffer in the middle there.
Now we have to worry about possible merging on the back straightaway, hoping it doesn't happen in front of cars at peace. So, almost like that.
Yeah, and we would see some cars rubbing against the wall there. Hernandez, not sure what's going on with him. He's a little bit of time to get those tires up to temperature, it looks like. Yeah, we should probably keep an eye on some of the drivers merging, but man, 36 and 52 are stretching it. I'm not sure if the Max came in and pit or not. We know Seth Cole did because he lost some spots. We still have a good amount of cars staying out. And that dropped to 3. How many laps down? 2 now, so... I mean, that might have taken them out of contention if they don't get a green flag stop, because if the caution comes out now, that's only 1 lap that they get back.
If they come back around to being the race leader.
Yeah, we should probably take a look at where the 66 is. I haven't seen him in a minute. There he is.
Yeah, right behind the 3 still.
Yeah, so, yeah, right behind that 3 car, so. The only 2 that came in, it looks like, besides Rodriguez, maybe. I'm just looking on the leaderboard. Looks like we might have 1 more coming in now. Oh, trouble!
Oh, there it is.
Austin Pebbles and Ash Curtis. 2 drivers who've been in trouble before, and that should bring out a yellow, I imagine. I think I see the light back there. Honestly, could have been way worse, and yeah, the strategy.
Strategy did not fall the way of the 3 and the 66, as they basically have been taken out of contention after leading that entire stint.
Yeah, nearly coming to about 50 laps to go, and yeah, the strategy not working out, but you know who it does benefit? Eric DeMax and Seth Cole, and seeing this 36 in the lead after last week is pretty surreal. I'm not sure if it should be allowed, but you know, here we are. So he's going to lead him into the pits, and we'll see what happened there with Austin Pebbles and Ash Curtis to bring out caution number 3 here today at Bristol. Alright, and as we see the lovable Austin Pebbles here of Warren Racing and the damaged number 54 Tire Pros car coming out of the pits. Pretty typical stuff here. Joining back on the racetrack, unfortunately there was an Ash Curtis in the way, and he ends up bonking the hell out of him, getting into Eric Rodriguez, and this happened right in front of the 3 and the 66, so you know they were just both very, very angry inside those cars, I'm sure, as their strategy has just been thrown to the wayside. And I mean, yeah, that was pretty much the entire deal here. 51 gets sideways on the track, and doesn't really look like much damage to that 51, if any at all, but that 54 has been pretty beat up today. Even getting into Blake Warren, as we scripted the replay earlier to take a look at what happened. So 54 a little beat up, Ash Curtis probably just a little angry because he's been in a couple incidents today, but other than that, really no harm, no foul for those two. For the 3 and the 66, just throwing their days away. And we'll see how they get back going here once we get started for the third restart, I think. So as we get set to get ready once again, Eric DeMax leads Seth Cole, faded rivals of the MRC Cup Series, it looks like, to the green. Once again, Emmy Scazzato, Bobby Jones, and Blake Warren in the top 5 up there. A couple cars buffering in between them, and Nearly 50 to go. We'll see how this race plays out. Still plenty of action left to go, I'm sure.
Side by side. Who knows what situation is going to come up.
And you see two drivers who were dominating that last stint. Gabriel Hamo and Harry Klein going by on the inside, getting their lap back. And it's going to be pretty much just a 50-lap shootout to the end here. Man, 36 is getting a hell of a run on the high side. And Seth Cole's got to do his best to match him or go faster. Trying to get win number 2 this season. And he's got his teammate of Joey Murphy behind him and teammate of Dylan Connolly ahead of him there. So nice little Alpha Connolly train going by. Currently 5th place. We'll see if he can improve on that. He got around Blake Warren there. And he's going to have to work on Bobby Jones in P4.
Yeah, Jones just got to the bottom. Going to try to take the fight over.
Oh, he did have the bottom at one point. Now he's going to try to take that spot away from Seth Cole. Very risky play there. Cutting in front of Cody Lamas.
Off the bottom, trying to get a run. Trying to just straight line off the corner.
And he's trying all sorts of things here. He's really trying to get around that 52.
I mean, we see how long and how hard it is to try to pass a leader once the run happens. This is the best time to pounce.
Yeah, for sure, and especially after being robbed in Atlanta. I mean, he's just driving with anger. He wants a solid finish. I mean, Atlanta was the first race he started in and nearly was a win for him. So now Bristol got to really capitalize and make those points worth it.
He's going to clear Seth Cole for the race lead. Oh, he worked for second spot.
Yeah, that was for P2. DeMax is gone. Goodbye.
Oh, remember what I said earlier about it being a short track?
Yeah, that is true. There's plenty of time for the 36 to get into some shenanigans, I'm sure.
Bobby Jones is probably a lot more angry now knowing that the car who robbed them last week is in front of him for a possible win this week.
Yeah, I can't imagine that SB Camp is happy that the 36 is even still in the race, but yeah, they got a bit of work to do. Oh, Cody Lamas, my God. Moving up to join the 39 in the high side. He said, let's go blue cars. We got this. And he's going to help that 39 around the 52 as best as he can. And these two are just going to battle away. And meanwhile, Eric DeMax having no air really to contend with ahead of him. He probably doesn't even need to get up to that 93 car to be safe. But, I mean, yeah, he's got the lead pretty locked for right now. 40 to go. Well, I'm sure the MRC officials did everything they could to punish Eric DeMax, but in spite of that, he is currently leading the Bass Pro Shops 200 here at Bristol. And he's definitely not letting that points penalty get to him, it looks like. 30 to go. I mean, he's still getting reeled in just a little bit, but I mean, the laps tick down pretty quick here.
You have to get around the leader as well as 4 lappers in under 30 laps.
Potentially more than that if DeMax turns up the heat a little bit more here. And he might. It looks like he's going to try to get around Joven, or Richard Johnson, I mean. And he's got some help behind him, and man, he's just going to start carving his way through the field. It's like he heard us. He's just
trying to sit in the middle of flappers, so can't get attacked from behind.
Yeah, it's kind of like in chess when they throw all their pieces to the corner and they make a little castle with the rooks and this stuff, and yeah, just pretty much unlimited protection. I mean, it's not going to be easy, even if the lap-down cars try to let him go. It's not going to happen too easy for that 39 to catch up, but he's about 3-second gap down to a second and a half. But he's got, what is that, man, 6-7 cars to try to get through now, and that number's just going to grow.
Yeah, the gap dropped a lot, but Mags also put in double the lap cars between them.
And Bobby Jones has had a hard time getting around just even Connolly, and he's got Seth Cole now behind him to contend with, so being in second or third, I mean, you kind of get to a point where your race maybe feels like your race for the win kind of feels like it's over. And, you know, Seth at some point is going to be like, I need to stop helping this guy, and I need to just go, you know, try to get P2 from him. So that's also, after a little bit, that's going to play a factor when they just start kind of cannibalizing each other and stop helping each other out.
Yeah, I think Bobby Jones is willing to ride, just use that little 3 cars all in somewhat clean air just to get caught up as close as he can to the back. Now that he's there, making quick work of 95.
Yeah, doing everything he can to get around him, but that gap is kind of increasing a little bit. Oh, now Demax on the high side. Is he going to get around the 3? No, he's not. This could be where the tables turn if Sestri can catch up to the rear end of that 3 car and keep him trapped on the high side there.
A risky move about going to the high side and pass. It could be faster this late in the run, but if they can get on the bottom, you're just pinned up there.
Yeah, this is a very interesting development. We'll see how this works out for the Castrol machine. Oh, he might have got around. Yeah, it looks like he did. So the risk paid off there. He finally gets on the 3 car. And now Jones on the high side. See what Seth Cole can do about this. See if he's going to try to take away P2 from Bobby Jones. And Cody Lamas now, he's worked his way up. Kind of came out of nowhere in the P4. And now we got a really big battle for second here. Lama's currently in the points, currently 25th, so finish right up here, that would pretty much get him out of any danger from being in the LCQ spot. Seth Cole, we mentioned 12th place. Bobby Jones, who would have had a really good finish at Atlanta, currently 44th in the points. But a finish here could really springboard him out of the LCQ zone, at least close to 30th place. Gap down to his second. And it could be even better if he catches up to the rear end of this 36 car. There's only a second gap now. And Eric DeMax is stuck on the high side here.
Can't go back to the high side if you're Bobby Jones. Gotta stick to your guns and just ride that bottom as cleanly as you can. Try to make up the ground.
He's in a really tough spot here because he's got Seth Cole kind of hounding the high side behind him. And I'm not sure how much of Bobby would want to block that run if he gets it, because like we said, the high side can work. It's just, it's a little risky if the lap down traffic doesn't work in your favor.
Bobby Jones is probably going to start shoving the RJ Reynolds machine up to shove that car in the gap below the 36 here.
Or perhaps even just shove him into the 36 after what he did. I mean,
that would also work for what he wants.
10 to go now, and the gap has been brought down within a second. The top 4 cars within 1 second of the leader now. Maybe even the top 5 if Skizzato could get in there. Eric DeMax stuck on the high side. Now Seth Cole and Cody Lamas on the bottom. Bobby Jones on the top side, trying anything he can to get around the lap down traffic of RJ Reynolds there.
Only a few cars separate them. That massive gap, not even there for DeMax anymore.
Oh, and Sustride not making it easy for him either. But it looks like he gives up that battle, and yep, now DeMax can make full use of the track and get as much time out of it as he can. Meanwhile, the battle for second is just heating up, and there's still a couple lap cars ahead of them to contend with. 7, now 8 to go. They're coming to, yeah, 8 to go now. It'll be 7. And the laps are just ticking down for the drivers behind. And that gap that was within a second has now just increased to 1.5 seconds, and it looks like it's just going to be a battle for second here on out.
That's certainly what it looks like for the moment.
And if you're Bobby Jones, this has got to be just awful.
Now the gap is at 2 seconds. DeMax is just gone at this point without having anyone near him. The
car that was in second beat him on strategy at Homestead. DeMax tried that strategy at Atlanta, and it just obviously didn't work out for him as he just committed seppuku in front of the field. And then the car in third is one of the drivers, or is pretty much the driver he took out. So for DeMax, this is just a complete win for the villain of our story here today.
You know, these Bristol fans definitely make their voices known if the villain wins.
Yeah, I'm sure DeMax is just collecting a bunch of fans here today at Bristol, and a little bit of sarcasm behind that. But man, once he got to the lead, he pretty much just dominated from there. We're at 2 to go. The battle for second pretty much concluded here. And it was a worthy effort. Eric DeMax, 1 more lap to go. After just wiping the field out at Atlanta. After finishing second at Homestead. For Team Toms, this has got to be a massive victory. And for Eric DeMax, this is just another W for him in the record book. And that's a win for the villain here today at Bristol. And the MRC fans, not too happy about this.
Definitely don't like seeing the villain win up there in the fans, but it makes for a very compelling story to have the villain win.
Yeah, for sure. And poor Bobby Jones, P2 for him. Seth Cole, P3. Columbus P4. Oh, AJ Jones, very last second, taking 5th place away. Skazada must have dropped a couple spots there. And, but man, yeah, just Eric DeMax takes the win here today. A lot of people thought he should have been suspended, but instead was just given the points penalty, and he took full advantage of still being allowed to compete in the series. And he takes the win here today.
Yeah, shout out to AJ Jones for getting a top 5 in his first race of the season.
Very first, yeah, for debut, yeah. Same with Nick Breeding there, 8th place for him in that number 9 car. Ryan Jasper, your 250 winner, wasn't really having much luck after Daytona, but taking a P9 there today. 17 cars finishing on the lead lap, with Buddy Barksdale being the tail end of that, the Atlanta race winner. And we will. Oh, sorry.
Not a glorious finish, but Cameron Lassard getting a top 20 in the first race that car made. Still going to do good for the points.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about getting out of that LCQ zone for a lot of those drivers. So we'll have the full results and the points afterwards. We'll just take a little quick glance here through the leaderboard. Try to point out anything interesting. Tristan Woolwhite, he was 1 point behind Roberto Crown Jr., and he finishes a couple of spots ahead of him, so he's at least going to be ahead in the points chart, just whether or not he has a points lead after that, we'll see.
Joey Murphy in 29th after being involved in 2 wrecks that resulted in 1 caution.
Yeah, honestly, just being ahead of 30th for that car is a W there. Carter Friesen, I think he was having some car issues. I believe he came in for an unscheduled stop at some point. Still finishing only 2 laps down, ain't too bad. And who finished last? Poor George Buffalo, just drilling it into the pit wall early on. And
like we know, bright yellow is hard to see.
Yep. It's a good thing Natana Moedo wasn't in front of him at any point during this race. It probably wouldn't have ended well for him. So we'll take a look at the full results, and we'll take a look at the point standings, and we will send you on out of here and on to the next race of the season, which I can't remember, but you know, I'll look at the thing and we'll figure it out. All right, taking a look at the full results here today from Bristol. Of course, Eric DeMax, Bobby Jones, Seth Cole, your top 3, so we pretty much focus on that entire last run of the race. We pointed out AJ Jones in his debut in P5. Blake Warren having a pretty good run after starting 3rd place. Scazzato breeding in his first full race of the season. Ryan Jasper and Christian Vargas running out your top 10. Luis Hernandez, Pedro Lucas, Spike Stinson, who is your new points leaders. We'll take a look at that a little bit later on. Dino Rivera, Ash Curtis, Victor Nunez, Buddy Barksdale, the last car in the lead lap. And Figueroa, Lassard, and Mitchell rounding out your top 10. Tristan, I don't know if you'd like to take 21st through, I guess, 42nd if you want.
Then a lot of the cars were kind of stuck in the back, hard to pass here. Carlos Mendez, Will Hoyt, Sweetie, Kiani, who had to see his own car driving to the pit barrels. Aiden Smith, 25th. Roberto Crown Jr. from the points lead with a 26th place finish falls all the way down to 5th in points. And then you have Klein and Romano, who such a good strategy from the looks of it. 66 slap sled for the 3, just a caution at the wrong point. And then Joey Murphy and Carter Friesen rounding out the top 30. Fitzwater, DeCockham, Amorito, Rodriguez, Lestray, Reynolds, Connolly, and then the cars who had issues and wrecks, Shane Sides, Testicle, Richard Johnson, Austin Pebbles Jr., and George Buffle, all with issues throughout the different stages of the race.
Yeah, it just kind of tends to be how Bristol is. Just really unfortunate for the 66 and 3. I really feel for them.
Yeah, 27th and 28th after first and second and entire almost 70 lap stint.
It only took Klein the entire race to get around him also, and it was at the very end when they finished 27th. Anyways, taking a look at the point standings, I mentioned Spike Stinson is your new points leader. Luis Hernandez joins him in the top 2, gaining 2 and 3 spots respectively. Will Hoyt drops a place. Seth Cole has made one less start than pretty much the entire field, and is 4th place. So that just shows how big of a threat Seth was. If he even just started another event, it would have been incredible. The points lead he probably would have had. Crown Jr. losing 4 spots. Vargas, Jasper, Dakar, Kiani, and Testicle rounding out your top 10 there. Shane Sides, Cody Alum is getting 13 spots from that 4th place finish. Matt Mitchell, Emmy Scazzotto, Pedro Lucas, Buddy Barksdale, Blake Warren, Gabriel Hamo, Ash Curtis, and Zach Fitzwater rounding out your top 20. Pretty much everyone in that, like 11th through 20th, has gained spots, and except for Hamo and Fitzwater. Poor, I mean, I hate the harp on it, but man, poor Hamo. I mean, that strategy was just really fun to watch. It just sucks that it didn't work out for him. And then you see the rest of the field here through 21st and 30th. We've got some moving and shaking. Klein also dropping some spots. Connolly dropping a lot. And Eric DeMax working his way out of the LCQ zone with the win here today, to the dismay of many people.
And then working his way almost outside of it is Aiden Smith, only 5 points back, just outside the cutoff zone.
Yeah, and the LCQ's on back. Smith, Reynolds, Bobby Jones getting 11 spots, just not enough. I'm sure that that'll come eventually. Starting 2 less races in the entire field, and still basically getting out of LCQ. Natan, Austin Pebbles, Dane Stinson, brother Spike, just not having too good of a run this season compared to the younger brother there. Alison Figueroa, AJ Jones making his debut, DJ Curtis, Nick Breeding, Rivera Williams, Johnson Farrell, Vanderhorst, there's you, 46th. Cameron Lassard, RJ Bishop, George Buffalo, Ryan Reed, and finally, I gotta make a whole nother graphic for Stephen Cullen. Just there's that one spot right there, 51st. So, yeah, that rounds out the weekend here, and the next time you'll see MRC, it'll be at Chicagoland. So a bit more of an open track for these guys to maybe vent their frustrations, as it seems like a couple people had to do so today. Any final thoughts, Tristan?
Hopefully next week I'm actually in the car and not at the booth. That's all I can hope for.
Yeah, hopefully, and as a not team owner, the people can't know that yeah, they can't know, but I hope all those drivers make it also. I like Misfit Motorsports, and not for any particular reason, so we'll hope they make it all in. But yeah, anyways, next time you'll see us, it'll be Chicagoland, and God knows when. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, till then, we shall see you.